Hello, it's Ben, and you're watching The Modern Redneck, and I'm Ben, the Modern Redneck. So, it's been a while. I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and is having a great start to their new year. I know lots going on in the news, and thoughts and prayers to everyone in New Orleans. This drone story just won't go away. I mean, I heard them even reference it on TV during the festivities last night, and there's really not much to the story. I don't think, at least. Um, yeah, I think it's pretty simple. Most of the drones are probably just ordinary drones. They're definitely not aliens. They're probably Chinese drones. I mean, DJI, the Chinese drone maker, they have about 80% of the market. Uh, Here's one of their larger ones, the DJI Flight Cart 30. So some of the ones that they were seeing, it could be like SUV size. Yeah, maybe size of a small SUV, a little mini car. I mean, you can see how big these things are. I mean, they're ridiculous. And they got a lot of industrial agricultural drones, and they used to spray crops and do surveys and all sorts of stuff. And these are the same people that make like the small consumer drones that you can fly without having to register at all, that can fit in your hand. And I have one, DJI Mini 3 Pro, amazing little drone. I mean, and it'll fly like 40 minutes easy. You've probably seen some of the videos on my channel. And they have, and as far as them flying in formations, I mean, they do this kind of thing all the time. I mean, they have drone shows. They've had them for a while. You can see right there. Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. It's not something that hasn't been done. They could be practicing. My thoughts are, it's probably just some of these large agricultural or industrial drones. I think if you looked at where they are, it probably is the Chinese. They probably just didn't register them, and whether they're doing it maliciously to spy or not, I'm sure if you cross-reference where some of these drones took off from, it probably around Chinese-owned sites or farmland. I mean, that would be my guess if I had to put money on it. So I mean, if I was Chinese, I'd probably want to get some good spying into before Trump got into office. You know, although some of these drones are probably just people playing around. Some of the larger ones especially, probably just unregistered Chinese, industrial and agricultural drones. Chinese probably didn't register, and these things can fly real far ways away. We don't have the market cornered on drones anymore. We haven't for a while. Yeah, the Chinese have that one lock, stock, and barrel right now. So just keep that in mind, and I'll show you my drone, how it looks at night, and how fast some of these things are. It's like, oh, these things are doing maneuvers. Yeah, they can do maneuvers. I mean, they can go in any direction. As you'll see in a minute. I mean, it's not that hard to imagine. So just keep that in mind. Some of these things can get pretty large. And we'll see in just a second how these drones move. Once they get up to a certain height, you could hardly see them. Depending on the drone, you can hardly see them. You may not even be able to hear them. If I were to put it in sports mode, I mean, it would fly like nobody's business. See? Look how fast that thing can move. Yep. Now imagine one of those the size of an SUV. And anyone can buy those. I mean, you have to have a license. to fly it, or you're supposed to at least, but I mean, they are pretty amazing. They really do have the best drones. So in a minute, I'll tell you what I think all of it is, what all this means, what all the sightings are. And you know, you can buy add-ons for like different propellers that glow in the dark or light up. You can put strobes on it. So even if they're not the telltale red and green lights that are supposed to be on these, it's probably still drones. Now, we'll wait till we go back inside to discuss what I actually think is going on. Let's just go ahead and land this thing. So, I mean, if they're high enough, you won't hear them. You can see them, but you won't even hear them. Which is, I mean, just amazing. Okay.
Landing.
And that's that. I've got an optional landing gear on mine. Just, you know, just keep the bottom cameras a little bit safer. Because it's got a camera on a gimbal. It's got cameras that, you know, sense the area around it, obstacle avoidance. So it's pretty nifty. Okay, well, I think that'll do it for right now. Let's head back inside.